This isn't going to go the way you think. What's going on, everybody? My name is Joe Methius, and we just got back from seeing Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Head High. No, all in seriousness, we just got back from seeing Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Honestly, I'm going to leave it to most of these guys here because I am at a loss for words. I did enjoy it, but I just, wow. wow. And that's, you know, I can't really say anything else. So I'm just going to go down the line. I'll start with Sean. Sean, give us your overview. What did you think of this new Star Wars movie that has been hyped beyond demand?
I thought it took Episode 7 and was just like...
Why you gotta beat up the hat, dude?
I thought it was freaking amazing. I still have some questions. I'm probably gonna have to see it again at some point. But go see it. Like,
definitely blew Episode 7 out of the water. I enjoyed Episode 7 for what it was. I can see how people were comparing it to Episode 4 with the similar plans to steal, you know, they stole the plans for the Starkiller base, and there's a sand planet, there's a snow planet, there's a droid that holds the plans, and they have to get back and then destroy this big base that can destroy planets. Yeah, I get that. Well, if you didn't enjoy that movie too much, well, you're going to enjoy this one a lot, because it definitely, in my opinion, is the most unique Star Wars movie that has ever been made, and that's coming from someone who loves the original trilogy to death. Episode 5 is my favorite movie. It might still be my favorite movie, but like I said, I have to watch The Last Jedi a couple more times to decipher that.
Yeah, same here. It just blew Episode 7 out of the water. I agree with Joe on that one. I do see why people didn't like Episode 7 that much, but this one is completely unique, and it blows out of the water. Like, it was just all the twists and turns, yo. All the twists and turns, yo. It was. I recommend go see it. Just go see it. Even if you wasn't a fan of Episode 7, go see this one. This one's completely different.
I mean, like, Attack of the Clones was also completely different.
Yeah, in a shitty way.
Yeah, fuck it.
Like it sucked ass.
That's the one that Joe agree. No, we're just like, no, I don't want to say no.
Sean, it's the worst of the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, Rob, what do you got for us, Rob?
Well, to be completely frank, I thought it was a pile of shit.
I'm not surprised.
No, the movie was great. Like everybody said before me, it was completely unique as a Star Wars film. Not just in the way that it played out, the way that it was shot, the way that the characters had their little developmental branches and such. And it was just... It was beautiful to look at, it was fun to watch, it was awesome to listen to. Everything from the score, cinematography, CGI, everything in and of between was just something in and of its own. I loved it.
It was a lot darker in tone. What are you doing?
I got my 3D glasses on.
You still got
Whoa! Holy
It's
shit.
like, fuck, I feel like I'm there right now.
that one from who still keeps his shit.
Alright, ready? This movie was a lot darker in tone compared to The Force Awakens. You know, Force Awakens was like, hey kids, this is Star Wars. If you haven't seen Star Wars before, here's all these classic characters. Your uncle, your father, your older brother or sister, like, they fell in love with. But this one, and I'm not sure if it was just the 3D glasses or not, that was probably an issue with me. But this movie's tone was a lot darker, and I'm not saying it was, like, you know, super dark, but like it definitely hit the mark a lot more, just like Empire Strikes Back. And I wish I could say Attack of the Clones, but that's just pulling hairs.
Yeah.
Trash. Damn, it was an emotional ride. There was too much.
Roller coaster.
It was an emotional roller coaster.
That's
As soon
what
as
I
we
said.
go into it, as soon as it starts, bam, all this shit starts to happen, and I'm like, wow.
We're just like...
Right,
Where are you taking me?
Alright, well, I give Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, a 5 out of 5. I've really nothing to complain about. It had great pacing, great action, great drama, great everything in between. I think it's an overall perfect movie. Very easy contender for my favorite movie of the year.
Well, obviously, I'm a big Star Wars fan, huge Star Wars fan. It's my favorite thing of all time. I don't like to be the guy that gives things perfect ratings, because I guess I'm just a hipster and don't like to agree with, like, because there's always a problem. Like Rob said, he said pacing was great. I disagree. Not to a T, but there were some parts where I feel like they were cutting a little bit too much, like where it was just like it was jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
Not that it was a problem,
I felt like that.
but I wouldn't say the pacing was perfect. It's really hard to say that a movie has perfect pacing.
But were you bored at any
No,
time?
that's the thing. I was not.
That's what
Right.
I'm.
Oh yeah, of
leaning
course.
towards.
No, of
never
course
bored.
not. I was never bored, at least once. And for me, my personal opinion, not the perfect pacing, but it wasn't Batman versus Superman pacing. So once again, just like Rob did, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Go see the movie, especially if you love Star Wars. It's quite different from anything they've ever done with this franchise, and I mean, I hope they continue to go forward. And this movie answers a lot of questions, but you're also gonna be left with a couple of questions yourself of why they did certain things. I personally don't even know why they still made certain decisions for this movie, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just say that.
My rating, it's a 5 out of 5. Definitely movie of the year for me. It beat it, and I loved it. So, yeah, also being a huge Star Wars nerd, yeah, go see it. If you haven't seen it, just go see it. And please, watch episode 7 before you see this. Like, just don't go see it because of the hype.
I was about to say that.
That thing irritated me today, okay? Because there's so many people who are like, oh, I want to see it. Have you seen episode 7? No. You won't get it. You won't get anything. You won't get attached to these characters.
I had thought in my head that I gave episode 7 an 8 out of 10, but this movie, I want to give it an 8.5 out of 10, but it was definitely at least a 1.5 above episode 7, so I think I might have to move episode 7 down to like a 7 out of 10, and this one gets an 8.5 out of 10.
Alright.
I wish they had done a little more with the characters that they're trying to get the new generation of Star Wars fans to be attached to. They were going back
They were going for the nostalgia.
way too much. Yeah. Which I get, you know, they're trying to grab every audience and like, you know, all the different generations of Star Wars fans to go watch the movie, but they might be trying to do it too much. Also, they jumped back and forth with directors. I don't know if that's hurting them or helping them. I don't know if I necessarily want J.J. Abrams to direct episode 9 now. Because,
especially after seeing
after seeing this one. Like, I feel like this guy is bringing it into a much better direction.
Alright, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, just click down to that little time bar down below so you can skip it to our final thoughts and opinions and shizzle. This is all spoilers, this is a danger zone. Yeah, starting now.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is the first scene you get to see Kylo Ren interact with Snoke. Snoke basically taunts him at Kylo because Kylo failed against Rey. Snoke makes fun of Kylo saying, you got defeated by a girl who never even wielded a lightsaber before. And also, he asked him about the scar, and Kylo was like, oh no, it's nothing. And he's like, take off that ridiculous thing. So he even made fun of him like, why are you still trying to cosplay like Vader, basically. I just really liked that scene, how kind of Snoke put Kylo back in his place, because that really pissed off Kylo that he was about to like take out his saber, and Snoke just like pushed him back and basically told him, yeah, don't f*** me.
There was a scene where Kylo had said to Rey that he knows who her parents are, and apparently so does she, but he says that they were just, you know, a couple of junk traders that traded her for,
Water,
drinking
some
money,
drinking
and
water.
drinking.
Yeah,
money.
exactly. But I'm not 100% sold on that. Somebody who's as strong in the Force as someone from the Skywalker bloodline is just someone who was born of like some junk traders. Like,
It feels like a cop out.
I feel like they're gonna flesh that out a little bit in episode 9. I feel like that's gonna be like one of the biggest things, because like, what do they really have to cover in episode 9 that they're not gonna cover in the next trilogy that they're gonna do?
Yeah.
Can I just share something with you all really quick?
No.
I read a really interesting fan theory that Rey was actually cloned from the cells in Luke's hand. When they find Luke's lightsaber in episode 7, obviously there's no hand, there's just a lightsaber. And I don't know, I thought that was a really interesting fan theory, and it's a lot better than her just being Luke's daughter, or Han's daughter, somebody's daughter, you know?
Yeah.
What about you? What was your favorite spoiler-esque scene?
How they actually show you that they get their clothing done by a machine, like with ironing boards and everything.
Oh, that scene played with us. We're like, I remember they first showed the thing falling down.
so
We were
they
like,
do get their
holy
laundry
shit,
done.
giant ironer? And next thing you know, shh.
Also, when you see Kylo Ren choking out Hux, like if you listen real close, you can hear him say, "Harder, Daddy."
I thought he was going to be serious.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
I'm like,
I have two. One's a joke and the other one's, you know, for reals.
Don't say
I-
which one's the joke.
There's a scene where Finn and Captain Phasma finally duke it out. It's short as crap, but it was epic as I really loved that fight. It was really awesome. There was a lot of intensity in there.
Rose was a great character.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Bobby, go ahead. Rose is a great character, new character in the Star Wars lore. Had nothing to do with Episode 7. I really appreciate her, just not just for her, her Asian bae looks, but just her personality, showing that she was more loyal to the resistance than Finn was, because Finn tries to bail.
I already like.
He
her
was
better
doing
than
it
Finn.
for the pub.
I like her better.
I
than
like
Finn.
her way better than Finn.
Yeah,
she's shut up. No, but for real, as a character, she was super dedicated, and she was willing to do whatever she could to help out to make this situation a little bit better. She saves Finn's life, and it's like she's just an overall good character. It's just a plus that she's fucking adorable.
She tasered him.
Oh, that was awesome too.
I love the fact that Rey and Kylo Ren have this bond. Because of their fight in The Force Awakens, they have like this telepathic thing going on where they communicate often like they're talking on a cell phone to each other, They're kind of reaching out to each other. Rey pretty much calls Kylo Ren a monster, and Kylo's like, listen, you don't understand why I did what I did. There's a reason for why I do what I do, and, even though Luke explained to you, why there's beef between us, it's all answered. So, my second part to that is you finally find out why Kylo has such a grudge against Luke Skywalker. Obviously, now I'm gonna, this is super spoiler. This is the most spoiler I'm gonna give. We find out that apparently, according to Kylo Ren's point of view, Luke tried to murder him in his sleep because Luke sensed there was much fear, much darkness inside of Ben Solo. But I'm gonna end it on saying there's two sides to every story, and it may not be exactly what it seems, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So, that's what we think of really good movie. Get ready to spend almost 3 hours watching it, but hey, I didn't mind whatsoever. Great flick, great popcorn flick, if anything. Great story. I enjoyed, and I really, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I loved it. It was awesome.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. See it more than once.
Good movie. Yeah, it was a great movie. Go see
Bring
it.
some airplane shots with you when you go see it.
So, from everybody here at Crazy Calyx, my name is Joe Metheus.
I'm Rob.
And these are the other guys.
Sean Stardom Artem.
Links to their channels will be on the end screen.
I don't have one.
He doesn't
We will
have
see you next time for anything we do. You'll see Rob, for damn sure, within the week, if not the next day. And may the Force be with you.
And also with you.
Hey, Rob.
Oh, God damn it.
Lift up your hearts. We lift them all up to the Lord.
Hey, Rob.
I hate you.
Harder, Daddy.
Papa!